You again for another Video Creators Podcast episode. Today is going to be a little bit different than we are used to. It's Memorial Day when we record these on Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern Time as a live stream on our YouTube channel, which is about the time when the rest of my team takes vacation. Which is great. They're off enjoying family time, enjoying the day with well, maybe not with friends because of the quarantine thing still, but for the most part, they're off just relaxing. And so it's just going to be me today. And for this episode, I keep saying we, it's just going to be me answering questions that help you guys out move forward with your YouTube channel in terms of helping you get more views, more subscribers, grow your impact, reach more people, and make more money with what you're doing on YouTube overall. And so today we're gonna dive into a lot of different things. We're going to dive into whatever you guys bring us here in the live stream. And for those of you who are in the podcast audience later, you're going to get like the best of the best questions, a good summary of everything that we kind of talked about here in the live stream. So I'm really looking forward to diving in with you guys here today. Now, if you are here live, I want to introduce you to Maximalist Minibus, which is Mary, is her real name. And she's going to be our moderator here for today. She's going to be producing this. And so as you guys have questions that you would like for me to answer, like I said, this is your show today. I don't have any planned topic. I don't have any planned agenda or anything here. I just want to spend about an hour or so just digging into what you guys need here. Those of you who are in the chat. So Kevin, Double Days Family, Recovering Addict, Bartek Dziek, did I say that right? Alan's Zubik, hi. He says hi, Tim. Nutella Plays, Jerwin Santos Vlogs, Shine, The Story Room. Ooh, I like that name. Yeah, all of you guys who are here, it's great to see all of you guys. Jacob Vasquez says, yo. So you guys run the show here today. What questions can I help you out with? And the way you're going to get those questions in front of me is not by spamming them in the chat. It's by tagging Mary just write the @ sign at Maximalist Minibus. It should auto-complete for you. Tap her, and then she'll see those questions, and she will put them in front of me here, and we will go through as many of them here as we can in the time that we have. And you guys already have. She's already got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 lined up. So I have a feeling this is going to be like a lightning round. We're going to just crank through these. So thank you, Mary, for producing. And if you guys want to check her out, her channel, she tells really cool, fun stories about her and her dog and their bus traveling and the adventures that they go on. And she really focuses on the story elements of a lot of that. So if that's you want to follow around, see what a life on the road is like on all those adventures, check out Mary's channel. And you guys have a lot of fun over there. Before we get started, diving into all these questions you guys have, there's already so many, this is going to be so fun. I want to introduce you guys to a channel that I just worked with last week called Retro Blasting, and we spent an hour in a consultation working through some of their things with them on their channel. These guys they have so much fun on their channel. As someone who I was born in 1980, and they covered Ghostbusters and Ninja Turtles and all that like retro, well now it's retro, 80s, 90s types of toys and action figures and everything. So if you are around that age range and want a really good blast of nostalgia, you check out the channel. But we spent an hour just helping them figure out how do they take the next step with their channel. They're already pretty successful. They've already got some decent traction, but it's a very small niche on YouTube. It's not like this is like gaming or this is vlogging or beauty or something. This is or being a YouTube educator. Like my audience is very small, very narrow as well. And so they're going after a very specific target audience, and how do they grow? How do they reach more of those people? How do they develop the business side of their channel? That's what we spent an hour digging into. And I got a little clip here with them of some of the things that they said that they're going to be really focusing on to move their channel forward and get to the next level with what they're doing as a result of our conversation together. So here they are to help you out. I just had an amazing conversation with these guys. Tell us about Retro Blasting and what you guys are doing on your channel.
Retro blasting is all about retro nostalgia. It's all about toys, cartoons, movies, and television of our collective past. And we've been around for 8 years, and we're trying to do deconstructive, honest retrospectives on all of these properties that we all love, with some humor and some insight and fun.
I love it. It brought so many memories for me watching, and I was like, this is so cool. I love what you guys are doing there. We just spent some time talking about your channel, about how you're going to take it to the next level in terms of growing your subscribership. After our conversation here, what do you think are some like the best tips, ideas, practical next steps that you guys are going to be taking, that you guys are going to be doing on your channel for moving towards that 250,000 subscriber mark?
I think it's going to come to really focusing on putting ourselves in the place of the viewer, and pretending that, kind of looking at our channel as though we've never seen our channel before, and kind of going, which videos would make me want to click on them just from the thumbnail or not knowing anything about it. So that perspective is very helpful in terms of like, wow, I never looked at our content that way. I'm looking at it from the other side of the mirror. So
yeah,
putting us in that perspective has been pretty transformational, at least for me.
And also considering what our existing subscribers need to endure. So one of the highlights I took away from our talk was making sure that something that might annoy them in the subscription notification gets taken out before it hits their inbox.
Like a long live stream,
like
or
a
something
long live
like that.
stream. Yeah, that's big.
Yeah. And you can find that right in your data, find out exactly if that's happening for you guys
right.
or not. So yeah, that's good. I think that you guys are doing a great job with the storytelling. I think you guys do a lot with making it easy for people to fall in love with the stuff that you're doing. One of the things that I think you guys are doing well, which you didn't talk about, is you're taking this idea of like, here's what's known, like Star Wars and Ghostbusters and G.I. Joe, and here's what's unknown, which is me and my brand. And you're doing a great job of melding those two together, because people can click and start watching for the thing they really like about like Star Wars or G.I. Joe or Ghostbusters, and then start, hey, this Michael guy's, like, I like this guy. He's really smart, really helpful, and it makes it easy for them to want to watch more. So I think you guys are just nailing it in that department, which a lot of people don't really do that well. So you guys are doing a good job. So.
Well, thank you. That's what Retro Blasting has always tried to be about, is Gen X stuff with a Gen X attitude. And a lot of times those two things don't mix. It's usually a very safe attitude, that social media kind of thing. But we come at Gen X material at Retro Blasting with Gen X attitude and snark. So. Yeah.
Well, if you guys want to check out their channel, there's a link to them in the show notes down below. You guys can go check out their channel and relive some of your childhood memories and dreams. You guys are going to love it. So go check it out. There is a link down in the show notes for those of you guys who are listening to the podcast of this. You can go check out Retro Blasting. The rest of you guys just go to YouTube, search for Retro Blasting, and check out what they're doing. It was a blast talking with them. No pun intended, although it was a little bit, I guess. And if you'd love to jump into a one-on-one hour-long conversation with me or Lennon or Delane or one of the strategists on my team, and start putting together a plan for how you can move forward with your channel, reach more people, get more subscribers, make more money on it. That's what we do. We literally do we work with over 200 creators a month here. So we do a lot of this. We've seen a lot of channels, a lot of data, and seen a lot of different things of what works and what doesn't work. And so we'd love to do that with your channel too, and help give you personalize some of the insights that we've learned for you and your channel so you can move forward. So you can do that, videocreators.com/consulting, and sign up for a session with one of us. Or now, if you go there and you check it out, one of the things you'll probably notice is that there's a lot of those booking opportunities are filling up fast. So if you are like, you know what, Tim, I don't really want just a 1 hour time with you guys. I really want to dive in for 8 weeks. Wink, wink. Some of you know where this is going. We have Video Labs registration just opened, and I'm not going to camp out here long because I really want to get into your questions that you guys have. There's a lot of good ones coming in, but there's several people here in the live chat who have been through it. They can tell you what their experience has been like in it, the results that they're getting. And just real briefly, if you've never heard of it, it's just working with me and my team hands-on for 8 weeks through our YouTube growth process. I think like over 1,000, I know it's over 1,000 YouTube creators have been through it. So many people have turned this into their job, into their passion, into their career, or it's grown the business that was like just stuck and stagnant and not growing a whole lot. But then they found out, they learned how to properly grow on YouTube. One guy we worked with was doing around $20,000 in revenue a month from his YouTube channel, selling his online courses and things. we worked with him, and within 1 month, he went from being stuck at about 80,000 subscribers and around $20,000 of revenue a month in course sales. In 1 month, he 5x his growth. He jumped to $100,000 in revenue that next month. In 1 month, and his YouTube channel also grew by 5x. So it's like there's some things you can do. Maybe some of you are having traction, but if you just want to know, like, just tell me what to do the right way in the right order in order to get the right results I'm looking for. That's what this is. And we're not just going to leave you on your own to do it. We're going to do it with you so that it's a very guided, personalized, hands-on, practical, reproducible growth process for any of you guys who are trying to grow your channel. So it is limited to only 20 creators because we work very hands-on with the creators who are in it. And so we keep it very small and intimate. And once there's 20 spots sold, then we close it. And it's halfway full as of right now. So if you want one of those spots, go down there, click the link in the show notes or videocreators.com/videolabs. You can learn more about what the course is and what it entails. I will tell you though, don't sign up, as I'm sure those of you who are in the chat, welcome to Chickenlandia, says, you guys, I'm not kidding. Video Labs is so worth it. So those of you guys, oh, thank you, Eric, for putting the link there. Yeah, so those of you guys who are thinking about it, I would just want you to know that it is a lot of work. This isn't like just watch some good content and then good luck, be on your way. This is, you are going to watch some in-depth training videos about how does the algorithm work and how to optimize and rank in homepage and suggested videos and for search results, and how do you create content that, like, literally just walk through with you, creating content that engages people and removing all the things that's making it hard for people to stick around and trying new things that makes it easier for people to stick around and want to watch more. Not most, but a lot of people who do all the work at least double by the end. Some people, like that one guy I was telling you about, 5x'd in only a month. So, but it is a lot of work. So I would only sign up if you got around 5 to 8-ish hours a week to put in your channel, and you're like, hey, I'm already doing 5 to 8 hours a week in my channel. Like, oh, great. We're just going to show you how to spend that time so you get more results faster. So videocreators.com/videolabs, just reading the chat here. It says, it is a lot of work, so be ready, but if you do it, it will really help with your channel. Yes, so I really love seeing that. Those of you guys who've been through it, if you have more questions, ask those people in the chat. They'll help you out as well. But we'd love to go through it with you guys. If you're down for that, you got time, you want to jump in, let's do it. Nice. All right. Let's dive into some questions here. So many of them coming in. It's good to see you guys doing this. Let's start with Houston Backyard Garden. How do you rank and search in competitive niches? I followed advice by channels like yours and still have trouble breaking past hundreds of views on my videos. Yeah, well, we're actually going to go, if you register for Video Labs, and now I'm going to sound like I keep kind of pitching this whole thing, but that's like, we spend weeks talking about this, regardless of how competitive. Let me use an example, maybe Houston Backyard Garden, a more recent example that the YouTube community has really been kind of mind blown by a little bit, and that is the Dad How Do I channel. I don't know if you guys have heard of that, but he got over 1 million subscribers in 2 days. 2 freaking days. And the rest of us are like, what the heck? And you look, they're competitive videos, just like how to tie a tie and how to fix a running toilet, and very competitive type of spaces. How did he do that? What did he do? Well, there's a lot of the principles we teach about in Video Labs. This guy, either accidentally or on purpose, he just nailed them. He was doing them so well. And so 2 of the big ones are being, when you get to his channel, you immediately know what you're going to get. The value is clear. The brand is clear. So Dad, How Do I? It kind of makes sense. Dad, how? And then you hear the story, which is the second thing. This is a guy, I didn't grow up with a dad. My dad never didn't teach me how to do things. I didn't have one. Maybe you're in the same spot and you don't have a dad. Let me show you how. And so that's like, you hear that story and now there's an emotional connection to the brand. So what most creators do when they try to rank and search, especially in competitive niches, is they end up just using all the same keywords that everyone else is using, thinking that for some reason, I know why, but it's a very antiquated approach. Like YouTube switched the knob, they turned that knob back in 2012 from being about views and metadata and switching ranking to watch time and viewer signals. So if you want your content to rank, it is 100% about how people respond to your content. 100%. Now, does the metadata matter? Maybe not that much. It primarily matters from a human perspective. How does a person who's looking for certain particular content, when they see like that keyword, what does that mean to them? So someone who's looking for how to fix a running toilet probably expects to see in the title how to fix a running toilet, right? Or I just did a consultation last week with a pretty big major brand, and I don't have permission to share the story, so I'm going to leave the brand name out. Although, anyway, yeah, I was gonna say it's really easy. It's really tempting to just want to name drop, but I'm not going to because I don't have permission. But big brand, and so they're trying to do these cooking videos, doing the same thing that maybe a lot of people are trying to do when they want to compete in search, which is like, what are all the different types of keywords I could apply to this thing, and how do we make it all in some sort of sentence that we put into the title? And they were doing a lot of that. And there is one, for example, one video that was like 2 different ways you could cook a chicken. The way most people cook a chicken, and then the way they recommend cooking a chicken, which actually cooks it a lot evenly, a lot quicker, saves money on fuel and gas and stuff like that if you're grilling it. So they had this video that had all those keywords put in there, and I was like, okay, if this is your target audience, does your target audience even know to search for this specific term that is related to this other way of cooking that they don't know how to cook yet? And they're like, no, our target audience probably doesn't know that phrase. And so I said, let's take it out of the title, and let's go here. If you've heard this from us before, likely, we optimize 100% for humans. Don't optimize for robots. If you want to rank, optimize for humans, not robots. So I said, what if this thumbnail instead was method of cooking chicken number 1? I'm sorry, Dahlia from Welcome to Chicken Land. She probably hates this example, but sorry. She says, oh no. Yeah, versus how to cook a chicken, this new method. Okay, and let's put like a big VS right in the middle of the thumbnail, like versus, and then maybe like a green check mark of like this weird way, because the chicken looks a lot different when you grill it this way. So, and a red X next to the way most people cook it. That starts creating some tension. They'll see that image like, oh, I usually I grill my chicken this way. What is this other way? What did they do to that chicken? That's the right way to do it. And then let's make a title something like perfect every time. And they're like, but that doesn't even have the word chicken in it. I'm like, exactly. It doesn't matter. Like, if your audience just is wondering, how do I cook a chicken? And they see the title perfect every time. YouTube knows this is about cooking a chicken. Okay. So optimize 100%. Like, which of you guys, even here in the chat or listening to the podcast, if you heard how to cook some blah, blah, blah chicken with words you've never heard of in it before on this certain type of device that you've never heard of before, how would you be more likely to click on that video versus the one I just explained, which is chicken versus 2 different cooking techniques and perfect every time as the title? You're most likely going to click on the perfect every time. So optimize for people. So to come back, Houston Backyard Garden, I thought I said it was gonna be a lightning round, but it's such a common question. How do you rank in search for competitive niches? The way you rank in search is the way that this Dad How Do I channel is you have a really good brand, solid brand that people clearly know what it is, and not just know what it is, but feel something about it. And there's like a story that people quickly grow to know Houston Backyard Channel, who you guys are and what your stories are all about and why this matters to you. And then someone who shares those beliefs with you and that story connects with them on a deep level, they are going to be way more likely to engage with your content and your channel going forward. And then you can make videos on some of these competitive niches as your channel starts growing, but you're not really trying to rank number 1. Here's another thing to consider. Whew, I feel like I'm on a preaching roll here. Another thing to consider, take those 3, we talk about like way more in depth about this in Video Labs, but I know we're not in Video Labs right now, so I want to help some of you guys out. Think about the 3 major traffic sources a lot of people focus on YouTube, which is homepage, suggested, and search. Okay? Of those 3, which of them has the most amount of traffic overall to them? Does the homepage have the most amount of traffic? Or are there more people just clicking on one video to the next and suggested? Or are there most people on YouTube searching for content? Well, of those three, I'm sure you can just guess, like everyone's at least got to go to the homepage even before they make a search. So even if they don't make a search, the homepage has a lot more traffic than search does. Number two, all right, so what about suggested? Well, if you go and you click, you maybe make a search query, you're still likely to click on another video or two that are suggested. And so home and suggested by sheer amount of volume have the most amount of traffic on them. Search isn't something to be belittled by any means because YouTube is still the world's second largest search engine, second to Google itself. So there's still tons of traffic on search, but it's so competitive. And when you're just trying to go after keywords, there's literally millions of other videos that use that exact same keyword. So what we recommend, what we'll teach you more in depth how to do in Video Labs, is go after the homepage, go after suggested, craft your content for people, for humans, get the watch time that you need. And when your videos start performing well that way, your videos will just start being ranked for a lot of those things as well. So it's hard if you try to go straight to rank number one on competitive things. It's a lot easier if you start growing traction on the videos through home and suggested, and then watch that video climb the ranks. The other thing I'll point out just real quickly is that there is no such thing as ranking number one anymore. All the search results and everything are so customized and so personalized to you. So, I mean, if you and I both search for the exact same query, we'll likely see some of the same videos in there. But to say that's going to be 100, like the same video number one for you is going to be the same video as number one for me, it could happen. It's possible, certainly possible. But it's also likely that we're going to see different videos. Certainly on our homepage and suggested, that's a no-brainer. But on search too, it's going to be based on your viewing habits, the type of content you're more likely to engage with, channels you're subscribed to. It's going to be based on content you've watched in the past and videos you've skipped in the past. It's going to be a very personalized thing. So, I don't hear that I'm just downplaying search. I'm not downplaying search. I think it is a very powerful traffic source. But there's a lot of opportunity to go after your most valuable viewer, which isn't the one who's just searching for something, getting what they want, and then leaving. But take a look in YouTube analytics, all of you. Just don't take my word for it. Look in your data and sort your traffic sources by average view duration. And typically, search is worth the least amount of watch time from all your other traffic sources. And so what we like to do at Video Creators is look at where is the best viewer coming from? Just like you would do in your business, where is our best customers? As a business, would it be better for you to be in front of a football stadium full of all the wrong people or in front of 10 of the right people? Well, if you want to grow your business, you want to be in front of 10 of the right people, not 100,000 of the wrong people. Because being in front of 100,000 wrong people still equates to zero growth for your business and also for your channel. So what we want to do is where's our most valuable viewer coming from? And then how do we turn on the faucet on that traffic source where our most valuable viewer is coming from? The ones that will be most likely to engage, give us the most amount of watch time, blow up our channel. That's kind of a behind the scenes look of what we really focus on in Video Labs. So, sorry guys, I am ranting now, but hopefully you pick up hopefully some of this is helpful for you, Houston Backyard Garden. And I realized that probably, that just equated to another page of questions from you guys. Sorry, Maximalist Minibus. Her finger's gonna be cramping by the end of this, keeping up with you guys. Okay, this is awesome. Let's go to Clueless. I'm not being mean. That's literally the name, Clueless. Hey, I need advice on how often I should upload, because when I upload 2 videos in 39 minutes, I don't get as much views as expected. Yeah, I mean, there's a couple different ways to look at this, and we could probably get to a more technical answer from your analytics inside your data. But even then, what it boils down to is that how often you should upload kind of becomes let me rephrase it this way. how often you should upload becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy based on what your audience grows to expect. So, and the same with like what day of the week is best or what time of the day is best. So if you can be most consistent on, like I do these live streams Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern time, that is not the best time if I want to get the most viewership on these live streams, but it's when I can be the most consistent and predictable during the day, during work hours. I can carve out time to do this as opposed to doing it in the evening when maybe more of you guys would be available. But I have a family. My wife and I have 7 kids, and we've got a lot of other things going on. And so I can't be as consistent in the evenings as I can be here in the afternoon. So this is when I do it. And some of you guys here, you in the chat, say this is true for you, but you've just learned that Mondays at 2 p.m. Eastern time, even on a holiday, you should be here. And whether it's me or Lennon or Delana or all 3 of us, we're going to be here live streaming with one of you guys because you know. So that's how often you should upload. I think is you pick what works best for you. Now, a couple of things to consider. Number 1. Focus on quality over quantity. The quantity game is long over on YouTube, in my opinion. The quantity game does not grow your channel. The quality game does. There's plenty of content on YouTube. There's no lack of quantity. People have lots of options. But if you want to grow, you need quality. So I would focus on quantity in the beginning, not because the algorithm cares or YouTube cares or anything, but just because it helps you learn a lot faster. You make a lot more mistakes a lot more quickly. You learn more quickly how to speak to your audience, what they respond to, what they don't respond to, what works, what doesn't work. You start feeling more comfortable on camera and you start getting into this groove. And as you get into this groove, like your value proposition is becoming more clear and you're communicating. It's like basically if you just want to put a pressure cooker on making all the mistakes and learning all the things that you need to learn in order to be successful in YouTube, focus on quantity. But the goal of quantity is to learn. It's not growth. When the focus becomes on growth, like focus on quantity for a little while, and then after you're like, okay, I got this, you start seeing some traction, then focus on quality. And instead of making 3 videos a week, can you just make 1 amazing video per week that blows your audience's mind every single time? Focus on that, and that's definitely where you're going to see the most growth. Kogan asks, as a new creator, is it okay to try different types of videos? I have 124 subscribers, but I want to do more than one type of content. Yes, absolutely. When you have 124 subscribers, you definitely need to be experimenting. Even if you have, I work with creators with millions of subscribers and their channels start plateauing and declining because they've been doing the same thing for years and the audience is just getting bored. I'll be honest, I'm one of them. My channel Video Creators, I've been basically doing the same thing for years, and I'm way overdue for version 2.0. I've been kicking the tires with that with this Creator Stories series, which I'm really enjoying, but it takes way more to produce those than I ever anticipated. So that cannot be weekly content for me. So I'm still trying to experiment, try different things myself. And that's going to be a focus of ours coming up this summer here at Video Creators. So yes, you always need to be experimenting, whether you have 124 subscribers or 12 million subscribers. The audience will get bored, just like television. Like a series on television, a good series might last maybe 7 seasons or so, right? Of what, like maybe 13 episodes per season. So that brings us to 91 episodes, videos total before it tends to go off the air. So when you start getting close to that, like if you're a really good series and you've done 100 videos, 90 some videos that are all kind of like the same, it's ready to mix it up. You gotta like, what does 2.0 of my channel look like, or 3.0? The channels that keep growing on YouTube and that really just deliver and have been sustainable over the long haul, those channels tend to pivot like every 1.5 to 2 years. And it's not usually a hard left turn. It's still usually the same value proposition for the same target audience, but it's a new, fresh way of delivering that value to the audience. And so there's not a whole lot that make that turn, but it is important to keep experimenting to stay on top of that. Let's see here. Pac-12 Shorts. How do I use a proper title and thumbnail? So a couple things to consider titles and thumbnails. Number 1 is that the title, the thumbnail, and the opening seconds of the video all need to work together. It all needs to be Like the title and thumbnail need to tease an expectation, create some sort of tension in the brain that compels the viewer to click. And then the opening seconds need to affirm for the viewer that, yes, what you clicked expecting to get is coming in this content. It is here and you are in the right place, and hook their attention so that they keep going. So that's kind of a high level what we do. And again, in Video Labs, we spend a lot of time looking at data with you about how do you better optimize, which titles and thumbnails work the best, which ones don't, and how can you do more that will work better for you and set up your content. The second thing I would recommend with this is that determine what your title and thumbnail are before you shoot the content. I was just working on this earlier today with my producer. We were brainstorming some new content ideas based on a lot of the stuff, like questions like you guys are asking here and other things. And we think of title and thumbnail first, and then if we think that's clickable, that could work with our audience, that'd be really good value, then we go ahead and shoot the content. We don't shoot the content and then try to figure out the title and thumbnail is, because it's almost impossible to do a good job at having an enticing title and thumbnail at that point that connects with the opening seconds of the video. So we think of title, video, then we shoot the content, so we can shoot it in a way that we already know what the title and thumbnail is, so we know how to open the content appropriately to hook and hold their attention. Cheravan Arvind, does multiple content affect channel growth? I'm not sure what that means, but if you're talking about multiple videos, yes. If you gotta continue to deliver the value consistently to your target audience to keep them engaged. Vlogs done well. How do you become a part of the moderating team? The moderating team, we send out a survey about every, a couple months, just asking people who want to help volunteer here. And we send out surveys, a little application you fill out. And so you can go look at my community tab if you're interested in finding that. I think it's a few weeks now, but if you go look at my community tab, you'll see when we last posted that. Let's see here. How to avoid spam subscribers. So many questions. Double Days Family asks, my question is, what do you do if you stumbled upon a niche you are wanting to change? I'm not sure are you asking that you want to change the niche, or are you saying you want to change your channel's niche from one to another? Why don't you follow up on that one? I'm not quite sure what you're asking there. Oh man, so many questions. Some of these I've already answered, which is why I'm kind of skimming through them. Yeah, a lot of these I've kind of, my rant at the beginning answered a lot of these. Okay, let's go on. Garrett Reviews asks, I just started a new YouTube channel. Should I advertise my new channel on my old channel? Yeah, I think you could. If you started a new one, for sure, announce that to your old channel. Let those people know that, hey, I started a new channel. If you're interested, you want to follow along, go follow me over in this other channel. I will say that in my experience, it is over twice as hard to grow two channels simultaneously than it is to grow just one channel. I mean, all your time and attention and energy and focus is split between two channels, and you end up kind of doing some of the same stuff on both of them, and then you make that one video, you're like, this could go on either channel. So if you want to grow a channel, I would say focus on one, but if you do have two, that's fine, and yes, you can promote one to the other. Darren Werner, with a shorter under 10-minute video with an ad before and after, are you monetized for both? It's more complicated than that. So when it comes to monetization, you'll see in your analytics that there's a thing called monetized playbacks. And monetized playbacks is different than views or other playbacks, because just because someone watches your video doesn't mean everyone who watches it is going to see an ad. There's a lot of variables and factors that go into it. Every piece of content has a different tolerance for ads. Every video has a different tolerance for ad. Different niches have different tolerances for ads. And so it's more about you can have ads in the beginning and end, but if someone just saw an ad on someone else's video and then they come to your content, YouTube's likely not going to show that first ad because they just saw one. But maybe by the time they get to the end, enough time will have elapsed that YouTube will determine that this person's tolerance for another ad at this point is at a favorable level, and so now we'll show them this ad. So it's not, I would not consider videos length being associated with ad revenue unless you have really compelling content and maybe you insert some mid-rolls and things. But even then, if someone they see the ad when the video starts playing and maybe it's a 20-minute video, but they scrub ahead and they get close to where that next ad mid-roll would be, like YouTube's not going to show them the mid-roll. They'll just keep going. So there's too many factors at play there. So I don't know if that helps or not, but hopefully that answers your question. Follow-up is requested. Double Days family, I want to consider changing the niche. I currently help people save money with digital coupon. I still don't understand. So you're saying you want to change the way people think inside your niche, or you want to change niche and go to a different niche? Like now you want to start a boating channel or something. I want to consider changing the niche. I currently help people save money. Oh, I think you need a period. Oh, maybe. I want to consider changing the niche. I currently help people save money with. So, okay. So this is like grammar makes a big difference, guys. I told my kids, we homeschool our kids. And so I tell them that when we talk about commas, it's like there's a difference between it's time to eat, grandpa, like with no comma, and it's time to eat, comma, grandpa. Like one is you're eating grandpa. The other one is that you're telling grandpa it's time to eat. So I'm not criticizing you, Double Days family. I'm just saying that it makes a difference. Okay. So I think what you're saying is you're currently helping people save money in digital couponing and you want to switch niches to go and do something else. If that's the case, then I would just make a video announcing to everyone, to your current community, that you're switching directions. You want to do this now instead, and then just do it. You're going to see a lot of unsubscribes. You're going to see a lot of people unfollowing you and things. So they were there for this couponing and saving money thing, and they're no longer down for whatever you're doing next, which is totally fine. But some people will want to take that change, make that pivot with you. So I would communicate it and then just move forward. So if that's your question, hopefully that helps. All right. Pizza loving nerd. Hey, I'm getting all my subs from one video. Is that completely different from my regular videos? How do I escape this? Yeah, I've seen this happen a lot. There's not really any way to escape it other than to take that old video down, and I don't really recommend that. You might as well take the subs that do want your new content that come from it and the AdSense revenue and things. So there's not really anything you can do about that, but I've seen that a lot. Let's see, should I use my YouTube channel email for other purpose, like for gaming account? Yeah, you can create lots of different YouTube channels on one Google account. So that's actually what we do. What I would recommend having. It's just easiest to manage them all under one account. So yeah, you can do that. Let's see some of these. Awesome Sauce asks, how would you resurrect a channel? I would just start posting to it. I don't think there's anything magical or anything. I would just start revitalizing it by posting some content, coming out with a new content strategy. You'll have some subscribers who are like, what? Who are you? Why? How did I get subscribed to you? And they'll unsubscribe because it's been a while. And you'll have some people be like, hey, I remember you. Welcome back. So yeah, just start posting. That's pretty much all it takes. Following all the growth principles that we talk about, of course. So many questions, guys. Some of these I've already answered, so I'm skipping some of them. Okay, the mindful movement. We kind of talked about this one already, but I have launched a second channel, different content, but a similar target audience. Any advice on how to link the channels to grow a new channel with existing success of the first? If you have a similar target audience, I would just keep it all on the same channel. Like I said earlier, it's really hard to grow two. And if it's a similar target audience, I mean, I would just keep it all on the same, unless you feel like the content is different enough, and not by in terms of value prop, it's a different enough in the value that it's providing that the other audience in the main first channel wouldn't appreciate it, then maybe, but for the most part, I would just keep it on one. But to answer your question, how do you link the channels? The only way you can do it is keep cross promoting both of them. And if you're going to keep cross promoting both of them, you might as well just keep it on the same channel, and then you don't have to worry as much about it. So, other than splitting your audience between two channels, and at that point. Oh, this is a good question. At Mia Baral, how helpful is collaboration with other YouTuber? It's very helpful if you do it right. If you do it wrong, it's a big waste of time. And the biggest difference between doing it right and wrong is how well can you get someone else's audience to quickly care about you. That's what needs to happen. So many creators just think that their main problem is exposure. And if I just get exposure, then my channel will grow. And if you do one collaboration with one big YouTube creator and you haven't gotten anyone to care about you, then your channel will still not grow. So it's not about, well, it might, but it's growing because people care about the big creator who shouted you out, not because they care about you as much. And then they will subscribe even, and then they'll like quickly kind of unsubscribe or stop watching because they only subscribe because this other guy gave you a shout out, and doesn't really help your channel. So the way you do that, have strong branding. Which we talk about in Video Labs, which is how do you get someone to quickly understand who you are, what you're all about, and really they know like very quickly that I want more from this channel. I want to dive in deeper here. And how do you get someone else's audience to do that? A couple of quick ideas. Make sure you share part of your personal story in there that audience would really connect to and relate to. Number two, make sure the value that you deliver on your channel is very clear and is obvious on your channel's branding. So when they get there, they're like, yep, I'm in the right place, and that you can clearly communicate that in the collaboration. But when done well, collaborations, I think, are hands down the fastest way to grow your channel with a good shot in the arms of subscribers very fast. Is a far better use of your money to go fly out to another creator and do a collaboration than it is to put that money on, well, maybe normally fly out to them or travel or do whatever. Collaboration is a much better way to grow than just doing paid promotion on your channel. So definitely recommend that. Let's see here. Reading all your questions, going through them. Some of these are pretty specific questions to some of only your channels. And the only way I could really help you is if I took time to sit down and actually read through and watch your content first. So, which I can't do on a live stream. So that's what's going on here with some of these too. Sorry, guys. Okay, yep. There's a hiatus, relaunching question again. DP Family Vlog asks, my channel is all about fun, family fun, bonding, creativity, and entertainment. Our goal is to inspire other families too, make them smile, etc. But I doubt if my content is good enough for the viewers. Yeah, so again, we would dive. Here's what needs to happen on this channel. without having seen it, just based on the way you're pitching it, is that you're saying we're about family, fun, bonding, creativity, and entertainment. How many other channels on YouTube would say the same thing? A lot of them. Okay. And I'm not trying to be mean here. I'm trying to help you out here. So hopefully it doesn't come across as too critical. And then you say our goal is to inspire other families too. How many other channels would say that? A lot. I've heard it a lot, so that's why I know. And then the other thing is you're saying, hey, watch our channel because we're going to inspire you. That's kind of like saying, hey, subscribe to our channel because we're funny. And it's really subjective. And people will be like, well, I'll be the judge of that. So the pitch right now is pretty weak. And it sounds like a lot of other channels. So the content itself might be good enough, but this isn't. I bet there's more to this. What you put down. I would say, it's like really surface level in terms of what's actually happening in your channel, and what you guys really believe in, and why you're doing this. And I would encourage you to dig another layer or 3 deeper, and say, rather than starting off with this is what I want to do, start off with saying, who is our most ideal viewer? Who do we want to serve? Start with that question first, and then really dig into who is this person, what's their story, what do they really want, why can't they have it, what's keeping them from having, the roadblocks, challenges that they're facing, what's at stake if they don't get this thing. And because your viewer is this person who's living a story, and so you need to craft your content to fit into that person's story so that they want to consume more from you. So I would really narrow down on that. First, on the audience that you're trying to go after, and then by answering the questions, who is this person, who do we really want to serve? Then at that point, you can then back into this is then what we must do on our channel in order to serve that target audience to get the most momentum with them as possible. Yeah, okay, we talked about a lot of questions about pivoting. So good thing we have a video coming up about that in 2 weeks. Frankendoll. Oh, that's the name of the channel, Frankendoll. Okay. I have 1,000 subscribers and only get 30 views every time I post a video. How can I improve the recommendation of my video to subs? It's a good question. There's a lot of different things happening here. And there's a lot of things to talk about here. So number one, people are subscribed to hundreds of channels on YouTube. I think last I heard, like, the average viewer on YouTube has on average 130 subscriptions or something like that. So if they subscribe, what they're not saying is, I want to see every single video from you. If they subscribe, they're saying, I wouldn't mind seeing another video from you at some point. That's more accurately what they're saying. And YouTube knows that. So just because someone subscribes doesn't mean they're going to put every video in front of that viewer. In fact, YouTube's ran that test multiple times in multiple ways, and every time it's come back to perform less and for creators than it does for YouTube to take a guess at, here's what we think this person wants to watch right now, and puts the right videos in front of the right person at the right time. So if you have 1,000 subscribers, not every 1,000 of them want to see. Not all 1,000 of them are watching YouTube every day. Not all 1,000 of them are interested in every piece of content that you publish. This is especially true in educational channels like mine, where I think I have like I know I have over 500,000 subs. I don't know how many I have total, but I think we're getting close to 600, but I don't really remember. And those people, like, not every single one of you guys watch every video I do. You're not on every live stream I do. You're not on every, and I know that, and I don't take offense to it. And especially in my audience, there's a lot of people who subscribe, who start growing YouTube channels, and then realize how much work it is, and then quit and never unsubscribe. So there's a lot of turnover in their interest as well. Maybe that's what's happening on your channel. But especially on an educational channel, people are like, this guy's good, it's helpful, I'll subscribe and get whatever comes along next, or I'll just wait for another video. So this topic, like, hey, random Q&A, maybe there's a lot of people who won't click on this because it's like, I love Tim, I love his content, but I don't really just want to sit around and wait for random questions to get answered, and I don't know what's coming next. So those people won't sit and watch, and other people will be like, oh, I love the Q&A, right? So everyone's different. So to answer your question, how do I improve the recommendation of my videos to subs? it really comes down on how consistently do you deliver the value that someone subscribed wanting to get. And an educational type content, that varies a lot. And it's more entertainment type of content, you might have a more likelihood of keeping more of those subscribers engaged. But it really, there's just so many variables and different things. So the improvement comes down to how high is the value that you're delivering and how consistently do you deliver it on it. When it's really high and deliver consistently, that's when people will enable the bell icon, get notifications, and not even care about what your title and thumbnail is. They're just going to click and start watching. So that's when you get to that point. So focus on the value for that specific target audience. Bartek Dizik asks, is it okay to have on a channel short, like 1 minute videos with quick tips and long content tutorials, about 15 minutes? And is it okay to delete low quality old content or better leave it on the channel? So yeah, it's totally fine. Like totally fine to have 1 minute and 10-minute videos on the same channel. The length of the video doesn't matter. It's the value that you're delivering to someone who really wants it. Is that consistent? Just as high as 1 minute as it is in 15 minutes? If so, then yes, keep doing it. Is it okay to delete low quality old content or leave it on the channel? Totally fine to leave it. It's not hurting you. If no one wants to see it, YouTube won't surface it to anybody. So no one's going to see it anyway. So I think it's fine to leave it there. It's not a problem. Swasti Bahori Music USA. Sorry, I butchered that. 137,000 subs, 40 million channel views here. Seems like I'm reaching a saturation now. Any tips? It could be a few different things. It could be, it depends on what you mean by saturation. If you mean I'm hitting a plateau, growth is slowing down, you're probably ready to pivot, go to version 2.0, start experimenting with new ways of delivering the value that your audience wants. It could also be that the skill sets that you have right now are at quality enough to get you to 40 million channel views and 130,000 subscribers, but now you need it to take it to the next level in order to get a new audience of people that would be interested in what you do next. So it's like improving your storytelling skills, or you said it's a music channel. Probably, I'm assuming you have good music, but it's probably your branding stuff maybe, and getting any. I haven't seen your channel, so I don't know what it would be. But we go through all that stuff in Video Labs, so check it out. That would be a natural next step for you. Video Labs is really for any channel. We have someone in it right now with over 1.5 million subs, and we have also someone in the exact same class who has 0. It hasn't even made a single video yet. So it does apply to any channel, but the sweet spot is that couple thousand subscribers to 1 million subscriber channel. That's kind of the sweet spot. So I would consider that you're pretty squarely in that range. Okay, answered that question. Oh, this is good. Okay. Cooking Japanese asks, are there drawbacks to updated thumbnails, titles, descriptions for old videos that are underperforming? So yeah, no, there's no, I think you mean updating, and yes, go update them. That's fine. If they're not performing, not getting any views, and you're like, this content should be good, give it new titles, give it a new thumbnail, and see if you can breathe new life into that content. Keep an eye on your real-time views and see if you can get that video performing again. So yeah, absolutely worth doing. Now, if you have a large library of content, I don't know that I would do all of them, but focus on the ones that you think have the most potential and that you think like your target audience would respond to best, and then start with those and then go forward. Oops. Sorry, I'm leaving you guys hanging here. It's probably when I'm going to look at my audience retention graph and everyone's leaving as soon as I read. Okay, this is a good common question. Skizzle asks, would you recommend using AdWords to advertise your channel trailer to people who have viewed your channel but haven't subscribed? Maybe, but probably focus more on the collaboration side if you really want to grow. I have seen AdWords do very little in terms of for growing a channel. I've certainly seen people grow their channels by using ads, so I'm not saying it doesn't happen, but it is probably the most expensive way to grow your channel. If you've got money, and here's the data that I've seen is that, and it's hard to know because YouTube, the product itself, AdWords isn't designed to grow channels. The product is designed to convert viewers into a transaction on a website of some kind. So you can kind of use it to grow your channel, but it's not made for that. So a lot of the metrics that you would want to see and have access to in order to track how that performs, you kind of got to do a lot of guessing. So based on our guessing, it seems like for every 100 subscribers that you pay for, which is they're really expensive and very passive subscribers, that is for every 100 that you pay for, it seems like only one of them will turn into an ongoing viewer who will watch a few more of your videos after they subscribe. So like I said, YouTube doesn't provide that data analysis. We're just doing a lot of guesstimating based on trends and things that we see. So it's you're going to spend a lot of money that way. And what I would recommend instead, and I know this sounds self-serving, but I really mean it, like Video Labs is exactly what you need. That's a much better use of your ad spend budget because that'll pay dividends for years down the road, as opposed to paying for an advertising campaign that might get you some new views and subscribers, but then as soon as you stop paying, all your traffic goes away and you're left with kind of the same thing you had before you started paying, which was not much engagement and hardly any growth. And so it's going to be unsustainable really quickly because you're going to be paying a lot more to keep your channel growing than it will be earning and generating at that point. So you can do it, but I don't know that I would recommend it when there's a lot of other better options to follow there. You guys, we were on like, oh my gosh, 20 pages of questions. And the font is a size 10. This is not like large fonts or anything. 20 pages of questions. Okay. Tell you what, guys, there's so much good stuff here that I think I have my content calendar planned for me for the next several years. A lot of questions around pivoting, around search and discoverability, around how do I get people to notice me, around algorithm stuff. And so we definitely have some content coming up on our channel about some of those. But let me take some time, or my producer, to go through a lot more of these questions that you guys have. Man, you're blowing me away. Maybe we should do more open Q&As like this. If you are in the podcast audience, I would love to hear from you what you would think if we did more open Q&As like this. My concern is for the podcast audience that they don't know what's coming next, and so it's all going to be a little kind of random and things. But it's really good for engagement in the live stream because the chat rate's really high and there's a lot more of you guys here. So yeah, it's, if you're in the podcast audience, let me know what you think about this type of approach. I'd appreciate that. And yes, Cryptic Fox, Maximalist Minibus is doing all the questions and her hands are probably cramping right now. So let's wrap it up for this week. For those of you guys who want to dive into 8 weeks with us, go to videocreators.com/videolabs and we will dive really deep into like everything you guys are asking here is exactly what we address and go into a lot more detail with Video Labs. And we get to do it with you in a hands-on way. So videocreators.com/videolabs. Let's spend 8 weeks together. You can do it with me, you can do it with Lennon, you can do it with our team, and we'd love to do it. Delena's not hosting one this round because she's maxed out with client work, so she's taking a seat on Video Labs this session, but we'll hopefully come back next session as her client work frees up a little bit. So check it out. videocreators.com/videolabs. See if it's right for you or not. And look forward to hanging out with you guys again next week with Lennon and Delana for another Video Creators podcast episode. So thanks for hanging out. See you guys then. Bye.